The silence in the archive was a substance, thick and textured, built from layers of captured sound that were, for now, dormant. Arthur Finch moved through the aisles of his sanctuary, a converted Victorian manor library, his slippers whispering across the oak floor. He was a man built of angles and quietude, his posture permanently curved from years spent leaning over reel-to-reel machines and spectrograph displays. Here, surrounded by the ghosts of voices on wire, tape, and wax cylinder, he was at peace. The world outside, with its cacophony of the present, held little appeal. His morning ritual, checking the humidity gauges, the temperature controls, was interrupted by a sharp, out-of-place sound, the clatter of the brass mail slot in the front door and the soft thud of a package on the welcome mat. Arthur frowned. He wasn't expecting anything. The package was a flat, cardboard square, roughly the size of a paperback book. It was unmarked, bearing only his name and address typed on a yellowing label. There was no return address, no postage mark. Someone had delivered it by hand. A prickle of unease, a sensation he was deeply unaccustomed to, ran down his spine. Back at his main workbench, a sprawling landscape of obsolescent technology kept in perfect working order. He carefully sliced the tape with a letter opener. Nestled within a bed of crumpled, scentless newsprint was a single, unassuming audio cassette. It was a standard TDKD-90, its white shell scuffed and worn. A single typewritten label was affixed to its face. Project Echo, Final Session, October 18, 2003. Arthur's eyebrow twitched. The date was mundane, but the label felt official. He slotted the cassette into a restored Nakamichi Dragon deck, his fingers moving with automatic precision. He donned his Bayer dynamic headphones, a second skin that sealed him off from the world, and pressed play. The tape hissed to life. The gentle susurration of blank oxide that was the canvas of his life. Then, a voice. It was a man's voice. Elderly but resonant, cultured and precise, with the faintest trace of a Scottish brogue. It was a voice used to being listened to. Log entry. Project Echo, October 18. This is Dr. Alistair Croft. The process is unstable. The resonance is not what we predicted. Eleanor, if you are hearing this, the foundational premise is flawed. The memory isn't a recording. It's an echo. And an echo can. A dry, rattling cough interrupted the speech. There was a pause, filled only with the faint, almost imperceptible sound of something. A low, cyclical hum, like a large piece of electrical equipment power-up. And a distant, rhythmic dripping. Arthur's brow furrowed. He leaned closer to the oscilloscope, its green line dancing with the waveform of Croft's voice. It doesn't fade. It lingers. It seeks a vessel. The subject's fear, it's the strongest echo of all. It's the one that. The voice broke off. The tape hissed on for another 10 seconds before clicking to silence. Arthur sat back, removing his headphones. The voice was compelling, the words cryptic and intriguing. But it was the date that snagged in his mind, a loose thread on the perfect tapestry of a recorded fact. He turned to his computer, his fingers flying across the keyboard in a brief, staccato burst. A search for Dr. Alistair Croft returned an immediate and definitive result. An obituary from The Times. October 21, 2003. Renowned psychologist and parapsychology researcher, Dr. Alistair Croft, had died suddenly of a cerebral aneurysm. The date of death was listed clearly. October 17, 2003. Arthur stared at the screen, the sterile glow illuminating the confusion on his face. The obituary was unequivocal. The man had died on the 17th. The tape in his machine. The voice speaking with such weary, palpable presence. was dated the 18th. A mistake. It had to be. A mislabeled tape. Yet, the voice had identified itself. Given the date, Arthur's professional detachment began to crumble, replaced by the first, thrilling stirrings of an obsession. He played the tape again, closing his eyes, listening not to the voice, but to the space around it. That hum, that drip, they were there, ghosting the edges of the recording. He isolated a section, amplifying the background. The hum resolved into a complex, layered tone, unlike any mains hum or machine noise he'd ever encountered. It felt organic. And the drip, he looped it, listening. Drip, drip, drip. It was too regular, too perfect. It was a metronome of emptiness. He needed context. The label had mentioned Project Echo. The obituary noted Croft's research partner. A drive. Eleanor Vance, now a professor of cognitive studies at Cambridge. She was, as far as the digital world was concerned, the only living link. He found her university email and composed a message, his usual terse style warring with the bizarre nature of his query. Dr. Vance. My name is Arthur Finch. I am a private sound archivist. I have come into possession of an audio recording, a cassette tape labeled Project Echo, Final Session, dated October 18, 2003. The voice identifies as Dr. Alistair Croft. Given the official records concerning Drive Croft's passing, I believe I require your expertise to understand the nature of this recording. Any light you could shed would be appreciated. Sincerely, Arthur Finch. He hit send, the action feeling both necessary and profoundly disruptive to his ordered world. For the rest of the day, he couldn't focus. The tape sat on his workbench, a silent, magnetic siren. He found himself staring at it, the date on the label seeming to pulse with a faint, impossible light. The silence of the archive, once his comfort, now felt expectant. The reply came late that evening. Just as he was considering giving up for the night, the ping from his laptop was jarring. The subject line was simple. Project Echo. His heart hammered against his ribs as he opened it. The message was brief, devoid of salutation. How did you get that tape? No one has those. No one. Do not play it again. Do not make copies. I am coming to you. First thing tomorrow. This is not a joke. Arthur's eyes flicked from the screen to the innocent-looking cassette on his bench. The hum from the recording seemed to vibrate in the back of his mind. He had thought the mystery was in the date, in the dead man's voice. But as he read Drive Vance's frantic words again, a cold certainty settled over